The novel that I'm going to analyze using classical theory is the famous literary work of Leo Tolstoy entitled Anna Karenina. I know that some of you are not familiar with this novel, so let me share to you its background. Anna Karenina is a realist novel by Leo Tolstoy, published in installments between 1875 and 1877 and considered one of the pinnacles of world literature. The narrative centers on the adulterous affair between Anna, wife of Alexei Karenin, and Count Vronsky, who is a young bachelor. Karenin's discovery of the liaison arouses only his concern for his own public image. Anna promises discretion for the sake of her husband and young son, but eventually becomes pregnant by Vronsky. After the child is born, Anna and the child accompany Vronsky first to Italy and then to his Russian estate. She begins making furtive trips to see her older child and grows increasingly bitter toward Vronsky, eventually regarding him as unfaithful. In desperation, she goes to the train station, purchases a ticket, and then impulsively throws herself in front of the incoming train. A parallel love story involving the difficult courtship and fulfilling marriage of Kitty and Levan provides a rich counterpoint to the tragedy and is thought to reflect Tolstoy's own marital experience. At this juncture, I'm going to examine the novel Anna Karenina with the use of classical theory. Actually, there are two types of classical criticism, and these are the moral, philosophical, and historical biographical approaches. And in examining the said novel, I'm going to use a moral philosophical approach since it is more concerned with love, morality, wisdom, hatred, and innocence. Anyway, like I have said earlier, Anna Karenina is a novel and is divided into 8 parts and 239 chapters. So I'll no longer narrate the summary or the plot of the novel because it will be too long and will consume too much time. If you don't mind, you can watch or read Anna Karenina on the internet. It depends on how you prefer to do it. Anyway, it's worth reading and you'll definitely get a lot of life lessons, especially for the adult ones. So here's my observations based on the novel. First, Leo Tolstoy's writings are greatly influenced by the title itself, which is widely considered to be a 37-year-old lady named Anna Stepanova who served as a maid for one of Tolstoy's neighbors. Her husband's flirtations with governesses were a frequent source of their arguments. Second, historical necessity is illustrated in Anna Karenina through the personal destinies of the main characters as they react to changing circumstances. For example, Anna's adultery provides a necessity. That is, the structure in which Anna, Vronsky, and Karenin must retrench their values to overcome the crisis they face, and how they met the challenge of their situation generates the dynamics of the story. Moreover, based on the novel, the important philosophical symbols present in the novel is the train and the horse of Vronsky. The train serves as the destructive element throughout the novel. Meanwhile, on a figurative level, Frou-Frou is a clear symbol of Anna or of Vronsky's relationship with her, both of which are ultimately destroyed. Trains are the most important symbols in the story of Anna Karenina due to their prominence in the storyline of Anna and Vronsky. They first met at a train station where a drunken guard is crushed to death. Anna calls the death an omen of evil. Her first encounter with Vronsky is thus overlaid with the specter of death. In some sense, Anna fulfills her own premonition by choosing suicide via train. Vronsky, too, uses a train as the engine of his death, as it carries him to a war where he is determined to die. The train motif thus brackets novel in a negative light. It's possible to go farther with the train symbolism. That train not only destroys Anna and Vronsky, but Russia's old way of life. In favor of an industrial capitalist system, you can also think about the idea of trains as a transportation, and I draw a parallel to Anna being transported by love away from her duties and responsibilities as Madame Karenina. Meanwhile, the symbol of the racehorse implies much about the power dynamic between Anna and Vronsky. The horse is vulnerable and completely under Vronsky's control. Just as in adulterous affair in 1870s Russian society, it is the woman who runs the greater risk of being harmed. For Vronsky and the other officers, riders, the race is a form of entertainment in which they choose to participate. But there is a deeper force leading both Anna and Frou-Frou into the race, and the stakes are much higher for them than for Vronsky. The race is a matter of life and death for both woman and horse. Ultimately, the horse's death is a needless result of someone else's mistake, just as Anna's death seems unfair, a tragic waste of a beautiful life. So here are the morals or lessons that we can get from the novel. First, rushing into marriage is probably unwise. Marriage is being put off more and more these days, arguably a smart move both emotionally and financially. Second, romance and true love do exist. Anna Karenina is obviously a tragedy. A woman risks everything she has, including her own life, in pursuit of love, and the pursuit is ultimately fatal. But there is a good deal of happiness amid the traumatic happenings of this book. Moreover, Levin is fixated with Kitty from the moment he lays eyes on her, and continues to pursue her even after he is rejected. The couple struggles through the beginning of their marriage, but in the end create a pleasant life together. The third one is good character gains reward and the bad one is punished. Despite Tolstoy's anarchic morality, he believes that God's judgment operates the sanctions of moral law, just like what happened to Levin, who achieves salvation whereas Anna finds death. Lastly, we must be encouraged to grasp how we miss things right before our eyes. Tolstoy is always showing us this truth. We do not see the world, we overlook it. He wants to re educate us to perceive the world differently, so that we are able to understand what passes before our eyes are hidden in plain view. Lastly, the central theme of Anna Karenina is that a rural life of moral simplicity, despite its monotony, is the preferable personal narrative to a daring life of impulsive of passion, which only leads to tragedy. Upon reading the novel, it implies that too much pursuit of love for love's sake will definitely lead to tragic consequences, and thus a young individual that does not rush into love. Love only when you are ready to commit. Before putting an end to this video, I want to leave the first line of the novel. All happy families are alike. Each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. And I guess that would be all. Thank you for listening and have a great day.